I have a comic book order that I am so curious about that I can't even talk about it. Hey there, today I have an unboxing video, and in this video I'm going to open up an order of comic books that I placed on Atomic Avenue from a brand new seller. And I don't even want to talk about anything else other than the comic books inside because I see other books available from the seller and I'm really curious to know if these books are in the condition that they were listed in, which is near mint. That is my target condition that I look for when I'm purchasing books on Atomic Avenue. So I want to get to the unboxing and take a look at the comics and see if they are truly near mint or if any of them have a shot at maybe some cleaning and pressing or professional grading. So let's get to the unboxing. All right, here is the order that I placed with Dad's Comic Stash on Atomic Avenue. It was sent via USPS Priority Mail. Looks like it was packaged pretty well. Go ahead and open it up and get the comics out. Absolutely fantastic packaging from Dad's Comic Stash on Atomic Avenue. Tape pulls with the painter's tape. Looks like the books are double, triple boarded. Awesome. It looks like he took a lot of care and time and really made sure that these books were wrapped and shipped safely and securely. Not tons of scotch tape, bubble wrap, and other craziness. I was able to really unpack this very, very easily. So thank you very much for the extra effort with the packing of the books. Now, let's get on to the comics themselves. Nice little stack of books, and we'll start off with West Coast Avengers. And this is West Coast Avengers number 16. And this clearly, with the dark background, is going to have problems with the book typically. The only thing I can see is there's just a light stacking crease, but not too bad. I don't see, I mean, you look at a book like this as you're going back through back issue bins at an LCS or show or whatever, and it's probably just littered with color breaking ticks. So really strong. Unfortunately, the corner does have a bit of damage, so it probably has that kind of 9.4 candidate appeal, but this is just asking for trouble, this sort of cover, as does the next book here, West Coast Avengers 21. Same sort of deal. This one has a little bit of a miswrap on the spine that's helping it out, having the white page from the back cover wrap around, but this looks really strong. Another high grade, hopefully at least a 9.4 candidate, but really nice structure, looks good. Again, kind of almost protected from spine ticks with that miswrap, but yeah, this one looks really impressive. So far so good. You know, when you're defining near mid, I think this is in the upper half of the 9, so really happy with that so far. Next is Thor 292. Great cover art here by Keith Pollard and Bob Layton. I can see some spine ticks here in Odin's cape. A couple right there. Again, not bad though. Probably, you know, in that 9294 range, but again, very impressive high grade copy of Thor 292. Another Thor book here. We have Thor 271, one of Walt Simonson's early Thor covers, with inks by Joe Sinnott. You can see their signature, the SS there. But this looks really nice as well. Just some dimpling and light spine wear. Maybe, I mean, it's almost hard to see, but right there is just a hairline tick. So not a 9.8 candidate, as the other books were not 9.8 candidates either. A little bit of a slight crease in there. So would benefit from a press for sure. But again, I feel like already I'm impressed with the quality of these books. Sometimes you can just tell. I know I open a lot of orders and you just kind of get that first assessment or that first take. And you're like, there's just no way any of these are in quote unquote high grade, even though they were listed as near mint. These actually are books so far that I would feel would be worthy of having that near mint label. All right, let's keep going. Got Iron Man 152. Love this cover here. This issue features the debut of Iron Man's stealth armor Mark 1. Really nice high grade copy here as I'm checking out. Look at that. I mean, that's about as good as a corner as you're going to get on this kind of age of book. So very impressive. As with the others, you just run into like one or two spine ticks. They're just hairline right there, but really nice. Probably again in that 9.2 to 9.6 range. And I mean, you've already seen it, so let's go ahead and look at it. But this was the big book in the order. Iron Man number 150, an absolutely gorgeous John Romita Jr. and Bob Layton cover featuring Iron Man and Doctor Doom. And as you can see the light shift, I've got two big problems right there against the spine. Yes, they could be pressed, but unfortunately, big color break here. Pretty nasty. And then another one right here, right by the iron butt. So unfortunate. Listed as near mint. Could this be near mint? Yes, it could be a 9.4, but would probably run it through a clean press just to get the creasing out. It's not going to obviously get the color break out, but that crease that's right in there, at least it could smooth that out. But I have this graded. I have a newsstand copy. Would love to see if I could get this up into maybe 9.6 territory. Again, probably settling in on a 9.2, maybe 9.4, which is fantastic for that book and for the price I paid. And if you stay to the end, I'll show you what I paid for these books in the order summary. Next is Iron Man number 101. Kind of an odd combo. We've got Iron Man and Frankenstein on this one. Same thing, these books are all around the same type of condition. This one's probably the worst one I've seen so far. Just various creasing and things, probably closer to an 8.5, I would say. Improvable with a press, but you're still just going to have to live with some of these color breaking ticks right in here. But again, structurally very sound, sharp corners. So very, very happy with this copy of Iron Man 101 as well. Very nice. Moving on to Incredible Hulk. We have Incredible Hulk 255. Super awesome Rich Buckler and Al Milgrom Thor Hulk cover from 1980. And kind of like the West Coast Avengers book, it is miswrapped, but it's actually helping protect the spine. This looks super strong. Couple of light creases, some discoloration right in there. Corner sharp, love it. Really nice. Bottom corner also sharp. This looks amazing. So good. Yeah, and the colors on this too really pop, which I love. I love seeing books in this age with just the super strong, rich colors, just like they rolled off the press. So happy with that one as well. Another Incredible Hulk book. This is Incredible Hulk 250, featuring the Silver Surfer with cover art by Al Milgrom, which Al Milgrom kind of looks like the Silver Surfer right there. But this one is square bound as well. So this is really tough. You can see the whole Incredible Hulk Marvel Comics group, the price as if you could put it on a bookshelf. And a lot of times they're not quite square. And so you have wild miswrapping. The book got really pushed out and flat, but this looks really nice. Very happy with this one. Corners are really nice and squared off. I think what's tough is there is definitely a stacking crease on this. So it would be a definite challenge to get that crease out and get it flat, particularly with it being square bound, the way that the way the comic is built. But love it. I definitely consider it to be, again, another high grade book, definitely worthy of being listed in near mint. Another Hulk book, Hulk 193. Now this one I will say it is great battle between Doc Samson and Incredible Hulk here on the cover, but this is more typically of the kind of the condition that I would see. So you're kind of bound to get get one of these in the order, and that's okay because the rest of the books have been awesome. But just a lot of wear and tear on the spine ticks. So this is probably more around the 6.0 to 7.0 type. Even this corner has some chipping up there at the top, and then you can see the color break right there by the price as well. So this one has some problems, but that's not bad if that's the only one in the bunch. Two more to go. Daredevil number 28. I've picked this book up in the past as there's some speculation related to Wilson Fisk being the mayor, and if that's a storyline in the new Daredevil Disney Plus series, they might explore that. So some of these issues, they may be pulling or borrowing the story from great Mike Diodato Jr. cover on this issue of Daredevil 28. This one looks really sharp all around. So something else to think about when you've got a seller that is selling back issues from Bronze, Copper Age, and then modern books, and they're all listed near mint. Just trying to get a feel for the type of quality in terms of condition. And this one looks to be super sharp, could even be a 9.8 candidate. So happy with that. And then the last book, Daredevil 184, very famous Frank Miller cover. Got the, I think this is the first team up between Daredevil and Punisher in here. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Strong yellow cover. And wow, looks to be just amazing. Great shape on this one. Corner sharp. Definitely needs a press, as there are some. Let me see if I can find him right here by his ear. And yeah, you can see just a couple of creases right in here. But that's not bad. Slightly miswrapped. That black line going up the spine looks super crisp, sharp. Corner is sharp up here. Wow, very impressed. All right, so those are the comics in this order. Very, very pleased and happy. Now, of course, I'd have to take all of these out of their respective bag and boards and really further examine the back of the cover, which I will do, and screen it in more detail and place an appropriate and conservative grade on the book, of course. But just from first glance, super happy with the grades. Now I want to show you what I paid for these, and I think you'll be surprised when I compare the fair market values against what I paid for each book. And if we can go ahead and assume all of these are 9.4s, what does that mean for the value or the potential value add to my collection if I were to get these books graded? Let's take a look. All right, here is the order that I placed with Atomic Avenue with the seller Dad's Comic Stash on November 11th, 2023. I was invoiced $135.80. This was the first time that this happened to me where I was able to unlock free shipping, but I was charged tax, and I don't understand how in Atomic Avenue, as a seller, you're enabling your store to collect tax. I hope it's all on the up and up. I kind of look at it as, well, I just sort of paid for shipping anyway, so money out of my pocket, it's kind of the same thing. But just odd when I was like, I knew I got free shipping from the seller, but they will charge you tax. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're buying books, is that you have some sellers that offer free shipping, some that will charge you shipping, and apparently some will charge you tax. So just kind of keep an eye on that. What I ended up doing is adding the tax charge to my total cost. And then as you can see in column AA, I've got the raw value add to my collection. And that's based on column U, the cover price fair market value, as I compare it to my total cost to acquire the book. Not bad, $96.20 of raw fair market value added to my collection. The only one that's a little odd, I can explain, Thor 292. The version that I got is the direct edition. For whatever reason, cover price has data on the newsstand. Sometimes that happens. It's quite rare, but the newsstand is actually their primary issue for Thor 292, and direct is a variant, and it has no sales data. So the calculation is showing a loss of $6.48, but even if it was a break even, it would push the raw value add back up over $100 for the whole order. Iron Man 150 is really the driver here, $48.64 of value added for this book raw, as it has a cover price fair market value of $67. $10.56 of value added for Incredible Hulk 193, as it cost me $19.44 for that book, and cover price has that at $30. I think that, just jumping back to Iron Man 150, I don't know if you caught this, I paid $18.36 for that book. That is what caught my eye with the seller, this one specific book, where I was like, I feel like this is maybe underpriced. I'm hoping it's not, because their version of near mint means actually like 6.5, and maybe that's why it's this cheap. But to get that book for under $20 in that high grade, I feel like was the score. That was really awesome. Now, if we are to assume that near mint is 9.4, which that's what I am told, even though people argue with me, let's see if we were to send all of these books into CGC, blind and assume that they all got a 9.4, we can start to see, is there a value here in terms of a 9.4 slab? And yes, very nice $432 positive addition to my collection if I were just to send all of these books to CGC as is. Now, not every book is valuable in a 9.4. Daredevil 28, no value. West Coast Avengers 16, 0, and West Coast Avengers 21, $6. Everything else, not too bad, kind of what you would expect. Iron Man 150, $147 in a 9.4. The other two Iron Man books, over $100 in a 9.4. And Incredible Hulk 193, 181, Incredible Hulk 250, Silver Surfer cover, $125. Daredevil 184, the Frank Miller cover, also $54. Now, what I love to do is I want to see the ceiling. What is the max potential for these books if they all came back 9.8, which I don't believe to be the case, but it's still fun to see. In a 9.8, $2,799 of fair market value in a CGC 9.8. Poor West Coast Avengers 16 and a 9.8. It has a CGC fair market value of $1. I need to check the numbers on that and make sure that the values are coming in correctly. That doesn't seem right. But for the most part, you can start to see some of these big numbers. Incredible Hulk 193 at 830. Incredible Hulk 250, 489. Iron Man 101, $595. Iron Man 150 at 417. So lots of great numbers, lots of great potential and value here. So I think for me, this is the kind of thing that I need to do. This was a pretty significant order. I typically don't spend over $100 with a new seller on any platform unless the deals just seem, I know, too good to be true. But if I'm factoring in the risk on these books, even with a new seller, I feel like in a worst case scenario, maybe it's a break even. Maybe I can work out something with the seller in case they are either reasonable about the condition. But I think in this case, the risk that I analyzed here was the fact that the cost of each book, and you kind of saw it with the raw fair market value ad being so high, I just felt like I wasn't paying near mint prices. I really was paying somewhere around like a, maybe like around an 8.0 type of price for these books. So I felt like in a worst case, it's worth the risk and it's worth the attempt, because sometimes you get orders like this where now I want to get back on the site and see what other great books the seller has. And it might end up being a seller that I purchase from regularly. And I will definitely reach out to the seller and let him know that I really, truly appreciate the fact that there was so much care and effort put into packing the books, but also I really appreciate the fact that his books were accurately graded. Let me know what you think about this order. I'd love to get your feedback. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting, and see you next time.